They're thirsty and they want to taste it. Sugar boy, don't play with my head. If I can't get you, boy, I don't want no one else. Sugar boy, please understand. Don't ever give me my dinner to another woman. Chicken go down low, when I come up so. Cause when fly friend sugar, they just want to stick. The woman know that.
Well, welcome.
Welcome.
Hi, Teresa.
Hi, Ellie. What's going on?
I'm a biker chick today. So,
Okay.
happy Halloween! We look horrible.
I'm
this
saying
hay.
that I'm out in the jungle.
You're out in the
I call it safari. Hillary said it's not a safari. There's
you ain't no day safari with no
parade.
sugarcane, girl.
So there's no sugar cane. It's just me.
Okay. You put it away.
With my binoculars.
Well, I'm doing the whole biker girl thing. There we go.
Like some bears. Well, I was finding monkeys, not bears. So
Let me see
yeah.
if my glasses can rock my glasses and my biker look. There we go. Yeah, I got it.
Welcome to another show
Yeah.
of Hot Tea with Pleasures. We are here to
Hot is
entertain
right.
you.
I'm taking this jacket off. I can't.
We're here
This
to
is too
entertain
hot.
you tonight.
I cannot do it.
Check us out on the social platforms, Instagram. Watch our previous shows that you have missed on YouTube, right here on YouTube, Hot Tea with Pleasures. Listen to our podcast on RSS. Also, like, subscribe, and leave your comments. Invite your friends to come and join us while we lubricate your life. Tonight, what are you whining about, Haley?
Yeah, I'm still sick.
Oh God.
I haven't
Recovered yet?
100% yet because
Mhm.
certain restaurant that I will not name. I haven't recovered. Girl, the medication. And the just. I don't feel myself. It's not right. But anyways, that's what I'm
You look
whining
pretty
about.
good as a biker chick tonight.
Hmm?
You look pretty good for the biker chick tonight.
I'm
Nice
one of those
costume.
biker chicks that just like, we know how to glam up a little bit. You see my
You
bruised
know,
eye?
do what?
I was in a fight. What?
I wonder who won that taekwondo thing.
I won.
The black guy. Okay, my whine about we are getting some rain.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it is too much
Let my mug.
because when it was hot,
Yeah.
we were having tea. When it was hot, it was really hot, and we still have some hot days. But then when the rain comes down, it falls for like 15 minutes.
I
Heavy
saw some
showers,
videos. I saw some
and it's
videos.
flash flooding. If you can picture, well, in Canada, you all have those. Well, our buses were likely the same height from the ground to the doorstep.
Hmm.
There was a video circulating with the certain areas of Barbados are much lower lying than others,
Yeah.
and the water was up on what you would call the top step of the bus.
Hmm.
Some persons had their feet in the seat or onto the back of the other bus.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah, because there was a lot of water. So on the
I
west
was like, where
coast,
is he going in the water? Where is he
on the
going?
west coast seems to be lower lying.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of flooding down there, and what they call flash flooding,
Mm.
because within minutes the rain stops, give it 10 minutes and it's all gone. Washed
Yeah, I
away through
experienced that when I was
the
down
sea.
there. I was in St. Peter and we were driving Rocky.
Okay.
We were driving in St. Peter.
We were driving.
We were
That's
driving
good.
in St. Peter, and it was like so much water and everything like that. When we came back, it was gone. It's crazy. I mean, it was so
Yeah.
much water. We had to go on the sidewalk to get to the other side of the road, and then the sidewalk became dangerous too. So
Yeah, I think we need to build our road in a concave way so the water runs off at the side. But then it's a drainage thing. Drains get blocked, walls get blocked. So
Yeah.
we have to be consistent in and doing our clearing of these holes. So yeah. Tonight's show is facing your fears, whatever fears you may have, whether it's a phobia, whether it's in relationships, whether it's fear of, say what,
Do you know that
centipede.
humans? Do you know humans are only born with one fear?
Okay, go on.
The fear of
You
falling.
can't just say humans are being with one fear and stop.
Yeah, the
Go on.
human is actually born with one fear. That's falling. That's it. All the others are created fears.
Be fear of falling.
Yeah.
That explains why a child, when they learn to walk, how they, how they have their hands up and they like,
So that the other ones are all
that's true.
created.
Tell you to think of it, being afraid of the dark as a child, you're not afraid until someone scares you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you
So all the
go.
other ones are created based on conditioning, right? So
Yeah, when you guys want children to do what y'all want and they don't want to do it, y'all scare them into doing it. Oh,
y'all.
do this or else. Turn the light off on children or the
I
little
never did
booth.
that. Sorry.
You never did that, Hillary?
No.
You were the last in the crowd?
No, I never scared people in the dark because I was afraid of the dark when I was a kid.
It
So
happened
why
to
would I
you?
do it to other people? I never did that to my
Did
kids.
it
No,
happen to you?
it happened to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So I never did
My
it to
hat's taken away.
others. I never did anything.
You
No.
go,
Even my children, I never did that to my kids. No.
good.
Okay, let's start. Disclaimer.
I think so because I need to get this thing off.
Are you okay?
This
Are you
stuff
gonna
is
make
hot.
it through?
Oh,
Okay.
I'll
Let's do a
try to get off of
disclaimer.
the
The
plate.
information here is research and it's being shared. If there's anything that, oh, that girl, that's
You didn't get a new script. The information here is research that is being shared. You can add your piece of what your scares are, and let's have some fun. Anyone in
Did
the
you
chat
update that
tonight?
without me knowing?
No, I said I have to make some changes. I
Oh,
saved
okay.
it, but we should open it
You're
back again.
hilarious.
Um, Welcome, Nicolette. She's behind the scenes taking care of our social conversations. Is there anyone in the chat you need to say goodnight to
Yeah,
as
there's
yet?
Victor's here. Victor said Teresa's still falling in holes.
Still falling in hole?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm dropping out.
Uh, can you come up a little bit higher? There you go.
I have to tilt the screen.
Okay, so let's start the show. Let's go.
Okay, good. Now we're gonna say why am I scared in relationships? That's the first one. If anyone in the chat
What are you
wants
scared
to
of,
say
Teresa?
anything,
What do you
pardon?
what's your fear? What's the one thing you're afraid of
Being lied to.
in a relationship? That is,
Mm-hmm.
and not in a relationship, but just in life. What are you scared of?
Being lied to.
Damn. Okay.
Being lied to.
Hmm.
Let me just pull this open again. Sometimes the internet, my computer is flashing me, man.
Okay, I'll go.
16s. You going?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Why am I scared in my relationship? And there's 16s that, well, 16s you can say about the women, and then 16s with the men. As Victor's in the chat, does he have his buddy with him tonight?
Rudy, he's not there
He can
yet.
make he
No.
can make comments as we go through and as the others start to filter in. So sometimes a woman has insecurities, and what is stopping her from investing into a new relationship is the result of a broken heart. So she decides to stay single instead of dating around. Now, being cheated on is one of those things. You start to date a guy, he shows interest, you show interest, you're going out together, you're going to your dinners, you're going to different functions with each other, you're meeting friends, you Get to safety with their family, and then you get that phone call. You know how girls like to chat. Hey, Hillary, I saw so and so. Are you two still together? Are you still dating? Yeah, we are. Why? Oh, nothing.
No, I don't answer those questions.
I'm
Sorry.
I'm not gonna I'm not gonna tell you I saw him XYZ with
Mm-hmm.
in this area, this place, whatever. I'm not gonna tell you that. But I'm not gonna tell you, you know, we go on. So it can be
But
embarrassing,
but
and then
wait, reverse. You
being cheated on. That's what we're talking about.
he says she's still falling in holes. The fear of
What
falling.
do you mean by falling in holes?
Okay, Victor, the fear of
My
falling. She's still falling in holes. Victor said he's scared of crabs and being homeless.
perhaps. Hmm. Are there crabs where you live, Victor?
So Teresa wants to know if there are crabs where you live, Victor. What kind of crabs? They're different kind of crabs.
Lord Jesus. Okay, an open line of communication and trust would be better for her
They are.
man in order to reassure her that her fears wouldn't be reality. Settling for less or compromising, and Hillary is on. A lot of women are scared of settling with the wrong person and compromising their standards because of Mr. Wrong, especially if
Yep.
it's something that has happened before. So the question is, how do you know you're with the wrong person? You gotta put your foot in the water to know if it's cold or hot. So how do you know you're with the wrong person? For
Well,
me, if two y'all can't be on the same page in terms of holding a conversation, you can't see eye to eye, everything is an argument, what is where are we going tonight or what you're gonna have to eat, then simple things like that, what they call trifling, simple things that are what we call trifling, then you know you were the wrong person.
you're also
Outside
with the
that,
wrong
if it's
person
the
when you
case
don't
that
when you don't feel good. Like it doesn't feel right. You know, you see this is the problem that
Mhm.
we do ourselves a lot of times. We try to make it fit. We know that the person you're not comfortable, you're not happy, you're questioning everything. For the day you got to pick up, let's say it's your person is a guy, and you have to search through his phone, and you got to go tracking, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. There's already a problem.
On
So
the
you,
first couple of dates,
huh?
on the first couple of dates, we don't be doing.
Let me
Sorry, why
explain
you
something
answering
to
to the
you.
man's phone?
Have no, you're trying to tell me you've never seen a female doing that on the first date?
On the first couple of dates,
You need to get out more.
man. I know which females we can be around.
You
Of
need to
course,
get
I'm
out
gonna
more.
try to search if you want
I'm
one.
serious. I've had situations where I've heard that a female asked the guy for the phone at the date to see
Man,
if
those are
there's
those TikTok things that you see on the
girl.
Look at me hot. This
The
is
world
female.
has changed, Teresa, from the time when we
I'm
were
gonna take
dating.
this hat off and let it drop at the back, like how we're doing. I'm out out hiking. Cause I don't know how you're on the first or the second date and you want to see the man's phone or the man
I
want to
don't
see
want to
the
see anything. I don't want to see anybody's
No, I'm
personal
referring not
position.
to you personally. I mean in terms of their
Yeah,
comment.
I agree. I think that certain things are, are not accessible on the first date. But
Why would you want to see a man's phone, period? Unless he's showing you a picture.
I don't know.
You
Don't
go
ask
in your
me. I'm not that
privacy.
kind of female.
Okay. You got some comments in the chat?
He's talking about your sidewalk again, walking.
My walking?
You walking on the sidewalk.
How am I walking? Oh, you mean from the flooding?
No, just think back. Your
Oh
hand.
Lord.
Anyways, continue. Ignore him. Ignore Victor.
Victor says the weirdest things they got you. So you make people think too much, Victor, man. Come on, say what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
her ex and her new man being exactly like alike. What a coincidence. It seems
Is
like
it
you
though?
would be treating, huh?
Is it?
Your ex and your man being the new person being like.
Mm-hmm. Is it?
Um, I've never experienced that.
Mm.
They might look alike, like in terms of, like if you like certain qualities in a person, the appearances, you might find yourself someone that is tall, totally the same height, brown skin, totally like be into the same type of activities you're like.
Sometimes you keep
That's
choosing the
good.
same person over and over again, and that's because you haven't changed.
Some people like tall, some people like short. So in terms of appearances, you might go for the person that have those same type of physical qualities.
I'm talking about personality.
In terms of attitude,
Yeah.
I never had that.
Yeah. So
And
you have to look at
anytime I come
yourself.
across that, it's like, you know what? Let's call it quits.
But you have to look at
Because
yourself. Wait,
you're
what?
always you're likely to be like comparing that person and like for them look alike, for them play the same sport. Am I gonna be having the same
But wait a minute.
conversation?
You're the
If that's
person who
the case,
chose them. So what do you? Why you?
but that
What?
you don't know the person's personality on the first date. You don't know the person's personality on the first date. Oh, gosh,
Teresa,
I'm hot.
we as women know exactly what the person's personality is on the first date.
You're going on the first date.
We already
You
know
know
he
the
if he's
person.
getting. We already know if he's getting to date number 2 before we even enter the door. Come on now.
Mm.
You know that's true. Come on, let's give some secrets out.
What number we at? Being disrespectful. Nobody has been disrespectful. That one, Women are emotional beings, and a man disrespecting her could bring out a whole lot of insecurities. So, men, be careful. You may never know how she is, who she had before, or what defense she had to put up. So, this could be scary and humiliating for both parties. Do you ever had anyone disrespectful to you? And if so, how did you deal with it? And this is on your first or second date.
Okay, what?
Did you ever had anyone being disrespectful
I was in an abusive
the
relationship, so
first or
yes.
second date? Pardon?
You mean for dating or in a relationship?
Dating. The first or
Dating?
second date.
Yeah. Oh, very much so. Because apparently people, I don't know what yeah. I had a very interesting date one time and it was very extremely disrespectful. And he got handled. The end.
Okay. So what ever thinking he is not pretty enough or she is not pretty enough or sexy enough? Because
I
some
don't,
women feel the need to be perfect for a man
there's no such thing as
to want
perfection.
and stay with them. So some ladies are terrified of not being pretty enough or sexy enough to keep that person, or vice versa. A man think he's not handsome enough or macho enough to keep that woman, certain women. So in turn, they have a negative effect on their relationship.
But at some point we have to mention that this has to do with your self-esteem, right? And your
Mm-hmm.
confidence in yourself. And this doesn't have to do with the other person. You can't blame another person for how you're feeling in that relationship. You have to deal with your own emotions and why you're feeling the way you're feeling. If a person is treating you
So you're saying
badly, at
that's
some point you have
another
to advocate for yourself. And if you can't, you have to reach out. Because um, no one can make you feel
more of a
sexy. I
mental
learned
thing.
that no one can make you feel sexy. You have to feel sexy. And
Mm-hmm.
when you start to feel sexy, then people kind of build on the energy, right?
Okay. And you tend to attract the right persons.
You might attract some wrong ones
Good.
too, girl.
But once you
Because
have a
because what
once
happens is people, because you get into your flow, you start feeling good about yourself and whatever, and all of a sudden everybody thinks it's about them, and they start coming into your circle, and you're like, how'd you get here? you know. So you
Oh,
might not even
connected.
know. No, it's
Connectedness.
true. You might not even know what's going on. You're like, what happened? How'd that happen? Completely blown away and confused. Had that
Mm.
happened to me, I didn't even see that coming. You
What
know.
about saying I love you in a relationship and it's not working out? Because I think sometimes you can find a
Mm,
woman, she says, I love you, and
hmm.
then the man doesn't say it back. And then she's like,
Or vice versa.
do you love me? And then sometimes men will come with the thing is, but you think if I didn't love you, I'll be doing this, I'll be taking you out for dinner because I didn't love you, I'll be buying this. And it get all materialistic.
Hmm.
So they tend to think that you're frozen or I'm frozen.
No, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. Right. They tend to think that when they say I love you,
Hmm.
women they need to hear it back. And men sometimes think this that I may not say it, but my actions speak louder than words. There's the things that I do.
What am I going to say, Teresa?
I don't know,
Love.
language.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
your
it's
love language
true.
determines how
Love
that person
language.
sees it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's the love language. So
Hmm.
I guess that can play too. So if you're the type of person that likes your love language is communication,
Hmm.
spending time, or your love language is being verbal and touching. What was the other one? The touch, conversation, time. What else? What was yours? I think yours was
Mine's
time. Your
time.
love language is
Mine's
time, yeah.
definitely time. Yeah.
So those are some of the ones for the women. Now,
Hmm.
for the men, the men are sickly scared in relationships is fear of rejection. Fear of rejection. It seems like you. It looks like you're frozen, Hillary.
I'm not frozen. I'm just trying. I just have a lot of things going at the same time. I'm trying to keep up. Yeah, go on.
Fear of rejection for the men. Is the chat? The chat is very quiet.
The chat is extremely quiet. We have a low
Okay.
crowd today, but let's keep going.
There, a man who was afraid of a woman will he will suddenly lose interest and abandon him because of this. He has heard, he has a hard time being tongue tied there. He has a hard time having honest, straight talk and is very afraid of conflict. When the
These are general
inevitable,
statements, by the way. Not everyone's like this, so please don't
you
write
know,
us.
so above all fears, rejection, or of a feeling so painful that it's almost like annihilation, somewhat like being completely destroyed.
Hmm.
So he considers around and any what is going on with my tongue? He considers around any direct conflict. So men suffer from some degree of conflict and avoid the pattern. So because of this, we find that men will tend to be more difficult in dealing with stress. Another one is the fear of rejection. Oops. Another one is the fear of, no, we did the fear of rejection. They gave us a little story there about Emmett and some of the warning signs to avoid anger exchange, like a plague if there's a disagreement you would tend to pull away and use text or email or simply does not respond to your messages. Wow. So those are one of the signs that you're being rejected. When you send a text, when you make a call, the person doesn't respond. I send an email. Are we at the office now? Have you ever sent an email to someone to respond? That's a new one. No, text or phone call. I call you twice. If
Mm.
after that you don't respond, I'm done with that. I'm done with that. The first time I think like, you were not by the phone, you're busy, then I will call back again. And if I don't hear anything, because you know what, I'm done with that. At some point, you're gonna see my message or see my call,
Right.
and that would be that.
Okay.
The fear of being controlled, the fear of being controlled and smothered. What do you
Hmm.
think about the part of being smothered?
Well, a man like is any person like their
Right?
freedom, right? And they don't
Mm.
want to feel as though you're, you know, everything that they do has to be a decision, a group decision all the time.
Decision.
I mean, her way or no way. In other words,
But don't you think in a relationship
no, it needs to
you
be a group
discuss
decision.
that?
But it's like, for example, if he wants, or she, let's say that it's a guy and he wants to, have a moment and what play golf, go golfing. I'm gonna be stereotypical
They
here,
watch football.
or watch football or whatever, and it's his me time. He wants his me time and not our time.
Mm.
Our time is Friday night. Right. So just give him a little
It
space.
always says the
You know
guys.
what we forget as when it comes to relationships, that at before we were a couple, we were two single people, and we have lives prior to that relationship. And so when you now get into the relationship, the life doesn't stop because it has to be, formed differently, yes, but the people that were there before you are still there and you have to compromise. And so sometimes he might want to be with them only without you, and that's okay. As long as he or she realize that whenever you're away from each other, make sure that boundaries are still in place. But other than that, then go
Make
have
sure that
fun.
what is still in place?
Sorry?
Batteries? You said make sure
Boundaries,
what?
boundaries,
Oh,
boundaries.
so you said batteries are still in place. I was like, what
I
is
don't
she
know
talking?
where I don't know where your mind is
You're
on when you're talking
free.
about batteries, girl. You're giving too much information. Okay, we
Okay.
let's take a break because we don't pay our bills here. So, anyways, let's take a break, and we'll be right back with more hot tea with pleasures. Please don't go anywhere. Remember to like and subscribe on Instagram, YouTube, and on. Are you changing the script while I'm talking? And our RSS, where you can listen to us on any platform that you choose. Be right back with more hot tea with pleasures.
Cause when life and sugar, they just want to stick. The woman know they're thirsty and they want to taste it. Sugar boy, don't play with my head. If I can't get you, boy, I don't want no one else. Sugar boy, please understand. Don't ever give my dinner to another woman. Cause when life and sugar, they just want to stick. The woman know they're thirsty and they want to taste it. Sugar boy, don't play with my head. If I can't get you, boy, I don't want no one else. Sugar boy, please understand. Don't ever give my dinner to another woman. Cause when life and sugar, they just want to stick. The woman know they're thirsty and they want to taste it. Sugar boy, don't play with my head. If I can't get you, boy, I don't want no one else. Sugar boy, please understand. Don't ever give my dinner to another woman. Cause when life and sugar, they just want to stick.
Okay. We're back. You like my little dig there before I left? Oh, this green lipstick is not working for me. It's, I can
It
taste it
looks
in my
like
mouth.
space, the space is like that kind of like a fluorescent.
Yeah. And I
It
can
looks
taste
kind of
it.
white, especially when you go on the side.
I can taste it on my mouth. You can do what? You can see what?
It looks kind of white when you turn your head on the side.
Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're back with Hot Tea with Pleasures, where we keep it raw and real. And we're talking today about facing your fears. And fears could be anything from relationships to personal hurdles or barriers that are in your way, whether it be able or disabled, whether it be created fear or established one, fair is fair. And it's real
Okay,
for people that we got to remember that. It's easy to give information, but it's hard when that is an actual reality for you. So we're not belittling or trying to minimize anyone's experience. We're just saying that these are all created things, and there are ways to manage them. Continue, Teresa.
welcome back. We are going into the second half of our show, Facing Your Fears, and we are talking about the phobias. So there are a number of phobias, and some of them that I didn't even know about. So, Hillary, you have some information. Let me just close off some of the chat so I keep one thing open.
Oops.
Good. So, phobias. Well, we all know what a phobia is, right?
Tell us.
It's something that you're afraid of, something that you're afraid will happen, basically. So, Hillary, you're good at pronouncing these things, but I think some of them you're gonna have to give me a hand with. So, first phobia is erotophobia, erotophobia, and that is the excessive and irrational fear of sex. I have never come across that one, erotophobia.
There are people that are afraid of sex.
And this is because of the person.
It could be trauma. It could be. It could be anything. So there's so many different reasons why a person could be afraid of sex.
Trauma in terms of being abused,
having
age, stuff like that.
Having being sexually assaulted. It could be the fear of intimacy that not knowing. It could be from religion. It could be from anything. It could be a mental thing as well. It could be anything.
So this type of phobia is a condition often complex for people with erotophobia and maybe scared of sex in more than one way. For instance, as Hillary was saying, it could be in terms of religion, it could be in terms of the trauma that they have experienced. They may also feel acts of sexual intercourse, along with having the fear of being touched. And those two are their other name. Their names for those two as well.
Wait, hold on. Do you want? Let me tell you. Let me tell you a quick little story, a cute story. My grandfather, God rest his soul. I'm gonna do this. He I gotta say that. Come about to talk about him. He that's the wrong hand, by the way. It's supposed to be this. All my Catholic people are like, girl. Anyways, he told me when I was a kid, because I was mature for my age, right? I was almost 5'8" by the time I was 8 years old already. And so he told me that if a guy touched my knee, I would get pregnant.
So we're on national.
I don't care. I love my grandpa. He was awesome.
Media.
He told me that. I believed him, because why would I not believe him? He's my grandpa. He won't lie to me, right?
People, we're on national radio.
Let me tell you something.
Sorry, we already read our disclaimer. This part is not research. Now go on.
Let me tell you something. Nobody could touch me. Like, there was one guy, and I am so sorry. I apologize for Corey. I apologize for the bottom of my heart.
Oh my God.
He touched me on my knee, and I'm going for my ability not to get sued.
Your belly to rise?
I'm not gonna. That poor boy. Yeah, it didn't work out for him. So I was a tomboy, so that didn't help.
You assaulted the guy?
Huh?
You assaulted him for touching your knee?
I do not condone violence. Period.
Oh my God.
I was a kid.
You were 8 years old. Your grandpa gave you a story.
I believed that until I was about 10.
You knocked
Okay.
someone out.
I believed that until I was about 10 years old. I totally believed it. Like
I'm
100.
glad, I'm glad you don't believe it still.
But that was his way of protecting me, right? That was his way of protecting me because and he was right because years later when I had kids and everything, I went to visit Barbados, and this one guy that I used to wave at him all the time from the step. I used to spin around in this. I had this red dress. I love my red dress. I would spin around in my red dress. And you know how it goes round in a circle around you.
Like a
So
ballerina.
no, well, no, it was one of those flare dresses that when you go in a circle, like a Marlon Monroe dress, when you go in a circle, it flew up, right?
Mm.
So I was 8 years old, and I remember that red dress because that was my favorite dress. And he saw me, and he said to me, he goes, "Oh, he was talking to my ex, the person who's my ex now, and he said, "Oh yeah, she was always pretty, and we really liked her, especially her in that red dress." And I was
Mm.
like, I was 8 years old. And I'm thinking, like, I was 8 years old. So my grandpa was actually protecting me, and I didn't realize how much he was protecting me. That guy was not 8 years old. He was a teenager. And
He was 18.
he was a teenager. He was in his late teens. And he was looking at me in that manner. And so I'm glad that my grandfather gave me those kind of weapons by like lying to me and telling me those kind of things. 'Cause it kept me on that step. It kept me on that step. So sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And he told me, don't let nobody touch your knee. You get pregnant.
Like I get it. Oh my goodness.
It
Some of the
worked. It
some,
worked.
some of the symptoms of erythropia, you got me laughing. Which is the fear of sets the rise in the level of becoming a phobia. So
Mhm.
the fear must be excessive, irrational,
Mhm.
create great anxiety or distress, or occur for at least 6 months. It's not simply being to say you're scared of sex, but this is something that it seems like it will develop. And they say like if it continues for like 6 months with all these, you know, behaviors involved,
Mhm.
you know you have erythropia. And a sign also that someone you love may have it can include such the negative attitude towards sex, the negative response to sexual stimulus, and
But that could be
expressing
also
their
something
feelings
else as well too.
avoiding towards sorry.
Yeah, that's very here or there because that could be other things as well that's causing that.
The, again the trauma. That could
Mhm.
be another one. Fear of intimacy and vulnerability also can be in there for erythropia.
Mhm.
Now, genophobia. Do you want to read the genophobia one? Go through that one.
Oh, you're doing good. Go ahead.
I wonder why. Okay,
I
then
like to
you
see you
can
squirt.
compare genophobia to erythropia
Mhm.
because erythropia and genophobia can be interchangeable, but they're not the same. Erythropia is a phobia of any aspect of sex, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional or psychological, while genophobia is the fear of physical sex. So one is thinking, one is touching,
Mhm.
and the other one, which is genophobia, that one is only the act. Okay?
Mhm.
Good. So parophobia is
Good
another one.
job.
Oh God, we got so many phobias. What was that for? Parophobia?
No, I said good job. Keep going.
Paraphobia is a fear of sexual perversion. So you can involve a fear of being perverted yourself or a fear of the perversion of others. So some people with this type of phobia, paraphobia, are able to enjoy sexual relationships that fits well within their personal moral codes, while others are afraid that any form of intimacy might be perverted. So if you have a perverted mind,
Like Teresa.
not quite, not quite. You're powerful. Okay, hapophobia. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly.
Yep.
Hepphobia or happy phobia. So it looks like it's happy phobia.
Go
It's
on.
also that
A
sounds like
fear of
the
being
same person
touched.
for chiropractic.
It's a fear of being
So
touched. Go on.
yes, if you're being touched. So they also call it chiropractophobia. So and it can affect a lot of your relationships. So then again, if your love language is touch, and you have someone that have happy phobia, not happy but happy phobia. I wonder if do men get these things as well?
Any person. It's not just for women or men. It's any person.
I can't see a man being
It's any person, Teresa. What do you mean you can't see a man? We have to get away with this from this whole ideology that men are like these strange.
No. Some of these
they're human beings. What do you mean?
I can put to men.
What?
Some of them I won't put to men unless it was a case of something that happened in the past.
But
some of put to men.
But men are human beings, so any person
are human beings.
Yes, so anything could happen to anyone. It's not sex. It's not gender based.
I don't know. For me, I can't put all these to men. This is just me.
This is just society's. This is the problem with society. And I could go on forever. Anyways, I'm gonna drink my beet juice.
Men have a way of hiding things or putting things on the back burner or on the shelf until it's time, until something triggers it for them to talk about it. So some of them
we can't make a general statement.
Some of these phobias I don't see men would come out and discuss or talk or say offhand, especially.
But you're making a general statement on an entire species of a group of a complete gender. That's not fair.
Okay, this one is saying not just a romantic nature.
Yeah.
Some people recall from even passing contact by a relative, for instance. Others are only afraid of more protracted touch. So it's not just within a relationship. There are some, no, that might take it onto a different path altogether, because that's more on the side of a mental disorder or disability. So that would be different. So I won't put that in this topic. So the next one is genophobia. Gymnophobia, and this is the fear of being nude.
Teresa don't have that fear.
Pardon?
Nothing. I said you don't have that fear.
Some people don't have that fear. I don't know if I don't have that fear, but I said some people. I know what Taylor is talking about now. So it can appear in different ways. Some people are afraid of being naked themselves. Some people are afraid of being naked and looking in the mirror. Some people are afraid of being naked around other people. So I think in this one, the one that being naked and looking in the mirror, that might go down to, what's that? There's if you break the term, illness, where people don't want to look at themselves in the mirror.
There's that. There's also a lack of confidence too.
I think is one of them, and having a low self-esteem of yourself.
Yeah. Hi, Petra. Good night. How you doing?
Hi, Petra. And this genophobia may occur with the body image issue or feeling inadequate about yourself. So that one is genophobia. So far, hi Petra. We
But you
had
know, it comes a
genophobia,
lot of different
which
things
is
too. Like there's so many different things that can affect this. Um, and so again, a lot of fears, well, not a lot, all fears except for falling is a condition, right? And so something has happened or something is causing this person to have this fear
right.
around nudity. It could be so many different things that have happened. So many different things. So many different situations that create either fear or low self-esteem or confidence or trauma or something that happened that makes that a repetitive thought. There's just so many different things that could actually cause that.
Mhm. So for Petra that has now joined us, we were talking about
Hey Petra.
facing our fears. We were talking about facing our fears. We had genophobia, which is fear of nudity. We have happyphobia, which is the fear of being touched. Paraphobia, which is fear of sexual perversion. We had erotophobia, which is a fear of any aspect of sex, whether it's physical or emotional, and genophobia, which is the fear of the physical, having the physical act of sex. So that brings Petra up to date. The next one
Hold on, I want
that
to ask. Hold on,
is
Teresa. I want to ask Petra. Do you have any fears? Something that stops you dead in your tracks that you either it could be in the relationship or just in general. Is there something that you're really afraid about? You can answer in chat. Yeah, go on, Teresa.
phenomophobia. This one is the fear of kissing, and this can cause this this can have many causes. But one
It could be a different kind of
potential
fear too.
concern, pardon?
None. No, it could be
One
that.
one potential
Anyways.
concern is bad breath. Someone with a germophobia may also develop this fear. It might not have to be kissing, but germophobia is a fear
Germophobic, yeah.
that, there was a picture on TV that persons, no, there was this monk, I think that was the name of the picture, monk.
Yes.
If you go to the hotel room, you had to take the sheets off, you have to wash them,
Hmm.
you have to put them back on. He would hold the doorknobs and all kind of stuff with his
That is
with a tissue
that's real for
cases.
them. That's very, very real for a
Mm-hmm.
germophobic. It's extremely real for a
Germophobia.
germophobic. Yeah, it's really real for them.
So that's that cause. But they're also stressing on the cause of erophobia. So they're saying about sexual abuse, this is what we were saying earlier. A
Hmm.
person might have been raped or sexually abused, and that has been a traumatic period for them. So it's an increased risk of developing some form of erythropia. And then
So
you can also have other traumas like anxiety disorders.
hold on, let me get the
Saying
question
something?
from the chat. So did anyone become a germophobic after COVID? That part.
Many persons,
Yeah, I think a lot
persons
of people. There's one person
this
that I
to
see
this
all the
day,
time cleaning themselves all the time and getting sick all the time too at the same time. And I'm just like,
wow,
you're cleaning so much, you're actually because there's a certain
you're
amount of
not building
bacteria
up
we
a
need on our
defense, let
hand.
yourself build a defense.
Yeah, we if you get rid of all the bacteria, you have no defense. Like you got to be careful with it, right? We
Yeah,
still need
to
it.
this day in supermarkets,
Hmm.
persons persons still wear gloves and taking money and stuff from you. And I'm wondering, is this more harmful?
Oh, because you're touching
If you
now
were wearing gloves, yeah,
over and over
because
again.
you're touching everything, and whatever you touch, you're passing it on to the next person and the next person, the next person.
True.
Whereas if you don't have your gloves on, when you finish cash one person
Hmm.
and you sanitize your hand, that's another thing. Then one of the other things that we're doing too, which I don't know if it made, much sense or helped the issue.
Hmm.
When one person finished cash, they will let the belt of where you get the, I can't really call that, the convert belt where you put your
Oh.
goods
Mm-hmm.
and they will spray it
Oh,
down with,
yes.
I guess it's bleach or whatever, until the other person comes. But everyone just take everything off the shelf the same way next person. So I don't know how much good that was doing,
Mm-hmm.
but you never know.
I don't know.
It caused us to buy more cleaning stuff. So
Let's go on. Let's continue because we got 10 more minutes left.
um that's that's it on the phobia. So if you want to talk a bit about any upcoming things that you have going on,
Well, you got the causes of the erotophobia, the sexual abuse, the other traumas, and then the
yeah,
personal culture,
we
religious
have this
mores.
one.
Yeah, sexual
Mhm.
performance anxiety. That's a real thing. People don't realize that. Sometimes it's actually sex that's the fear that we fear, and instead we worry about our own abilities to please the other partner. Sexual performance anxiety is very common, and it affects men about 25% and about women about 16%. The impact of physical functioning during sex, and it sometimes stops the sexual desire.
Okay. What about the age aspect of it?
People think that older people sometimes in older care homes, they may develop this kind of phobia due to perception that sex is an age group. May be, it shouldn't happen, right?
Mhm.
Often, um,
So what do you think would be the physical concerns on that one?
um, well, if you're able to do it, first of all, if there's going to be any kind of erectile dysfunction, um, and is your partner going to be pleasing for a woman? Is she going to be too the vaginal? Is it going to be too dry? Is she going to experience pain, or is it going to hurt? That's
But
mainly the area where people think it's going to hurt.
in terms of the vaginal dryness,
Hmm.
there is
Yeah,
medication
there are
and
treatments for
such.
it.
So instead
Hmm.
of us giving you those treatments, it's best you go to your doctor, seek medical attention, and they can tell you or
Well, for the
subscribe
for the
to
female,
which
it's actually a pretty easy one. Actually, for the female, it's a pill that's inserted inside of you for
Mhm.
about 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks, you're fine. You're back. Your lubrication regains, and that's because the vaginal wall is thinning. And
Did you read about this one, Hillary?
what?
Did you read about this one?
I'm a woman.
Did, did you read about it? Are we talking from experience?
I'm not talking from experience. It's just that as a woman, I don't know about you, but
Being
I
born.
go to a gynecologist, and
I'm just
they
then.
share information with you, and some of the stuff that we talked that my doctor spoke about is that women when they get my age, they start to go into premenopausal behavior, and your body starts to change. And so women that are in now in their 60s and 70s and 80s, they might be dealing with vaginal dryness, and that's just the reality of it. And you know, both men and women both have the same fear. It's just that for some reason society has allowed women to express their fear, but when men express them, they're weak, right? So we have to be mindful of how we deal with people and their fears and their anxieties and see that it's real for them, and maybe look at ways that we can help. So medication
Is one of them, and
is one of them.
we have the therapist in,
Yep.
so the
Yeah.
physiotherapy,
There's also therapy
therapist, and the
yep.
cognitive behavior therapy.
Hmm.
That's the two natural
I
ones
would do
that
both.
reach
I would
out
do
to.
both. I would get the therapy, the chemical side as well as the mental side, because even if
Mhm.
you get the chemical side, that damage has been done mentally. You still might feel a little bit afraid to, after now you're down there has been a little bit revamped a little bit. You might still have that fear and might not want to have that intimacy. What is the street name for the dry condition asking for a friend?
What is the
What
street
is the
name?
street name?
Reagan?
I don't know. Do you know, Teresa?
No.
I have no
This is
clue.
coming from
Victor,
what's his
who do
name?
you think?
Victor?
We don't know
I
what
don't
the
know
street name
his
is. I'm
street name,
sorry.
so can you give it to us? Okay, no, stop.
He said
Can it be
okay.
said on YouTube?
He said okay. So I don't know what the street name is. Carry on. He said carry on.
That's why I said let him stop. If it can be some, if it's something that can be said on YouTube. So
Probably
the
not.
coping, how would you cope with erythropia? What do you think? And cope with erythropia.
Well, the things like you can learn relaxation, breathing, a lot of grounding, and breathing control exercises to
So
reduce the
move will
anxiety
help.
around the fear of sex. You can do that. You can educate yourself more about your body, like I just talking. And Teresa's
Mhm.
like, "Oh, do you have experience?" No, girl. I'm a woman. I got a lot. I ask a lot of questions. So, talk to your therapist, talk to a gynecologist or a doctor, and find some information out, or go and do your research. But remember, research. There's so much out there, so much information, and your situation might be different. So, always have that personal touch with your doctor. So, yeah, that's basically it. So, fear, again, to recap, fear comes in phobias. It's all conditioned except for the fear of falling. And there are ways around it to learning how to ground yourself, to meditate, and as well to get some psychological help to help manage that anxiety because it is real for you. Might not be able to get rid of the fear, but be able to manage and maintain a self-loving, self-understanding, and more confident you. Did I just round that up good? Did I do a good job? What's going
What?
on for you and Teresa in Barbados?
The whole thing is going on right now. Hiking is being stalled a bit because of lots and lots of rain that we're having.
Right.
I think today I overheard a conversation with persons that live in we call it the Northeast. They
Mm-hmm.
had some slippage over there because that side is more sandy soil.
Okay.
So, when water gets heavy in sand, it starts to move. So that area had been saturated. So we're just waiting to see what's going on.
Oh, okay.
Hope out for all the best for people on that side.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have rain like this, there's no beach there because all the
Oh,
runoff
I
will
feel
go to the
so
beach.
sorry for you.
Well, thank you. I'll go to the
Not.
pool instead. The pool instead.
We're about to hit winter. I don't want to hear about no beach. Okay.
So when does daylight saving time
I think it's
start?
November 22nd. I think it is November 22nd.
Oh, I thought it was sooner than that. As soon as November starts.
What are
Okay.
we talking about next week? Because next week is still a live show, but the following week will be recorded. So what are we talking about next week? Do you remember? Nikki in the chat,
Nicolette, yes,
Colette.
drop it
What are
in
we
the
talking
chat.
about next week? I think we're talking a really nice, juicy one.
Next week, that's the next week, next week, next week. Next week is the 4th,
The
right?
vulnerability of men. That's going to be a nice one.
You got it?
Yeah, vulnerability of men. How
Hmm.
vulnerable are men? And why do we want them to turn that off? So there's a lot of questions around that, but vulnerability of men, being serious. Let's talk about it and see what happens. Let's see where the show goes and how we kind of produce that. It should be very interesting. I want to see what Rudy and Victor have to say about that. But yeah, that's it for us. Teresa,
So
it's
what?
always nice chatting with you. We will be back here next Saturday live on YouTube. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Go over to RSS. You can hit it up on any platform you listen to your favorite podcast. I hope we are one of them. And you can check us out on Instagram at hot T HOTT
We
with pleasures.
I want to say welcome to, because we have a new subscriber, I think it was. We want to say welcome to that person.
Sure, go ahead.
Yes, welcome to our new subscribers.
Yeah, our subscribers they're growing. So we thank you all for for subscribing and and tuning in every week. I know a lot of people just watch the show after the live, and we appreciate that as well. Hopefully we can get this whole thing under a proper roof for the new year. I like there's my dog in the background. Look at that. She's just I like the new the platform that we've selected. We just have to make sure it's established properly before we actually bring that out. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you next here Saturday, Teresa. Bye for now, everybody. Thank you for coming. Bye. I like your outfit. Okay. Bye, everybody.
There you go.
Oh yeah, that's it. You're now in a safari. Ciao.
Miss that stack, taking big swings, put your hand to the bat. Put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag. Cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real. But how's it supposed to